Who's your all-time favorite horse? The ones you haven't trained.
Well, Deep Impact was a very good horse.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
was.
him racing and how dominant he was. And I think when I'm asked that question, I would think, okay, Japan, Deep Impact. Even a horse like Maurice,
Yep.
who was so dominant when he went to Hong Kong. International exposure, I think, is great for horses, and that's what we're seeing with the Japanese horses: spread their wings and be so dominant in all parts of the world, in particular Australia.
Yeah.
Obviously Frankel, and it's great to see him doing so well at stud. Black Caviar here in Australia was brilliant. There are just so many great horses, and being able to see them in flesh is always good. But the beauty of modern day racing is we watch a lot of Japanese racing. We get to see the new stars, and I think it's important for each jurisdiction or country to be able to showcase those horses. And now people are getting to see Australian racing in Japan as well.
Yeah.
So it's important for the sport that we have modern day heroes and promote those horses in the right way.
So what quality do you think the good horses have in common? You have trained so many winners, so many good horses.
Good horses, they've just got that X factor. When they're under, you can't really see it in their training. A good horse like a Group 1 horse isn't much different to a Group 3 horse, but it's that final bit of pressure, that last 200 metres of a race, which is when they separate themselves from the rest. So
Yeah.
a horse can overcome interference, overcome other issues that go on in a race. They're the ones that really become the good horses. And what makes them special, I think it's the things that you can't see. It's their will to win, which I guess is their mental capacity, their heart and size, and what that heart is capable of producing under pressure. And obviously Japan's done very well with their breeding and eliminating the weaknesses in horses. Some countries they breed inferior horses, and therefore the inferior horses are passed on. But one thing I've noticed of Japan is they're always looking to improve their breeding stock, and it's been great that a lot of the stud owners have been buying Group 1 mares from around the world. That's been noticeable, in particular Mr. Yoshida buying Group 1 horses, and obviously other owners as well. That's a great way to increase your gene pool, and that certainly helps success. And obviously horses have got to be good movers. I like horses to have a good attitude. If they've got a good attitude when they're young, normally that'll follow them through, and it makes our job, me as a trainer, you as a rider, it makes our jobs a lot more enjoyable when you're dealing with a nice horse.
Yeah. So what's the part of when you train your horses? What's the enjoy moment or satisfying moment?
Well, satisfying is winning and making owners and investors happy. That is very satisfying. When you're able to train enough horses that you start training future stallions, it's also very, very satisfying when that good colt goes off to stud and starts producing. And because they can produce a lot of horses or go internationally, it makes you feel very proud.
Yeah.
So that's something special. But the beauty of horse racing is the satisfaction it gives to you as a participant, a trainer, jockey, rider. There's just so many areas of satisfaction when you win a race, and it might be the middle of winter in a small race in Tokyo, or here in Sydney, or in France, wherever it might be in the world. I can guarantee you the satisfaction that win gives an owner or people working with the horse is second to none. And that's why I think racing is continuing to go ahead, and I think it'll go ahead even further when people understand that there's more to life than just continuing to invest. But when you can invest in satisfaction and a thrill that a horse gives you, it's a very, very worthy expense.
And what's the best part of Australian racing?
Best part of Australian racing is we race 52 weeks of the year on fairly good tracks. We have a very temperate winter. It doesn't snow. It doesn't snow in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Yes, we get snow in the highlands, but we're very fortunate that we've got a very good climate. And with that good climate, I think the horses can race all year round. We still get wet tracks, so that suits some horses. It gives them a chance to win races. There's good tracks that other horses that appreciate. So there's just a great mix, and we have carnivals that go from Melbourne in one part of the year to Sydney in the other part of the year to Queensland in the winter where it's warmer again. Then you've got Western Australia and Perth, South Australia. Every state has got their own specialty, and we can travel to all of those states. There's no embargoes. We've got one-tiered racing for amazing prize money. There's pop-up races being introduced where we've got a Golden Eagle here at Rose Hill, which is worth more than the Melbourne Cup. We've got the Everest, which is $15 million, and there would be at least 40 races now run for $1 million or more. So on Saturday at Rose Hill or Randwick in Sydney, we're racing for a minimum of 130,000, 52 weeks of the year. Melbourne's the same. It's a lot of races, a lot of good prize money.
Obviously you mentioned about Japanese racing. Do you wish to take your horse to Japan to race one day?
I would love to take horses to Japan, but respecting how good their racing is, you've got to take the right horse. So the biggest problem we've got is with quarantine. In time, those barriers will be broken down. Selling the sport of racing, people want to see and understand that it's a global sport, and that you can travel horses successfully and see the best horses racing, and that's what the public want.
And about the overseas traveling, obviously the owners announced about Valerian plans to go to the Arc maybe next year. What do you mean to you and Australian racing to racing in the Arc?
I think just like it does in Japan, the Japanese have gone over most years and performed extremely well. And I think once you've had the taste of that race, you can see that the Japanese want to go back and win it and continue to do well, because it's international exposure. From my perspective, and for the owners, whilst we realise how hard it is to win, we feel a horse like Very Elegant is suitable because she doesn't mind what the track conditions are. She's good on a good track, firm track, and good on wet tracks, so that's a big plus. She's obviously an extreme distance horse, so 2,400 metres suits, and she's in the right part of her career to be able to go to that next level.
Right. I think all the questions done, and just this final message. Give all the message to the all the Australian racing fans.
Just continue to follow our racing. Don't be afraid to reach out. If there's ever any questions that we need to answer, please don't hesitate to contact us or contact you, Itchy. And if anybody's coming to Australia, we'd love to show them around and showcase our sport. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much for that.